5 horror video games. You got your top 5? So my number 5 is probably my very first horror game I've ever owned.
Okay.
And this is when I had the NES.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know how close that was to the release of it was to the launch of the NES, but it's like one of the first games I ever had. And
I think it came out in 87 or 88.
Yeah, and
I can look it up.
I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing in that game, but like the
one
music
did until 1995.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
The music, the alarms that go off, how Jason just pops out of nowhere. I don't know. It made me anxious as a kid. I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. You don't know where the fuck you're at on the map.
It came out in 1989, February 1989.
Okay.
So that's, and we got, what was it, 1985 in North America was when, so it was pretty close.
But like, it made me feel tense in a way a horror movie would with a video game for the first time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying, and my list isn't like the best games. It's just like the games that resonated with me throughout my life, like these specific horror games.
Well, and I'm not going to shit on you. I'm going to back you up. It's very fun because you don't know when he's coming, and when he does come, is that's the music. Like that's the fucking, and then he has different weapons when you find him and stuff. Plus, it's like when he's killing children, and it literally says children up there because that's who he's killing, children, and it's going weep weep weep. So you're like, oh fucking shit, and then of course the map don't work, so you can't. But no, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, and it's like even the game over screen, you and your friends are dead, game over. And then like it goes back to the opening thing where it's got the Jason mask in the knife that goes through. He's like, chung, 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 chung. I'm like, it made me feel weird as a kid. I'm like, it's like the collecting the torches, like the map confusion. It was just, I don't know. It's like, there's an unpredictability about it too. When Jason would just come out when you're like walking along the lake and he comes out, or when you're in the same cabin and there's like that Mike Tyson punch out sort of battle, which I didn't know what the fuck I was doing then either. And then I don't know, it's just like the eerie music that kind of makes you go crazy. And it's just one of those games that just sticks with me like throughout my whole life. Honestly, that's the first like horror video game I think I've played. So
you know what you should do sometime, Wes? You're always telling me to beat that game. I can beat that game probably 9 minutes. You should for real just get a walkthrough and play that game through with a walkthrough that tells so that you like know what to do, and then it because the game really doesn't. The game really doesn't suck. It's just implemented very terribly, I think. The idea is good.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. Like, it fits the movie. You have a stalker. You never know when he's coming. That's always fucking scary. And then when he does, he's faster than shit. You're just this little kid with a fucking Dorothy Hamill haircut. Like,
and he's huge.
Yeah, he's fucking
huge too.
Yeah, he's Kane Hodder.
All right, well, that's my number 5. What's your number 5?
So my number 5 is going to be Splatterhouse 2. Why specifically Splatterhouse 2? Because I always saw the ads for Splatterhouse on TurboGrafx-16. How many people did you know in Southern Illinois that had a TurboGrafx-16 that you knew personally?
0.
Exactly. And again, I've brought this point up before. I had never seen one in real life until I met the Purdue brothers several years later in high school. Apparently they fucking had one, but they never talked to anybody. So no one got to enjoy their TurboGrafx-16 with them. No, I'm playing. Shout out to the Purdue brothers. They're cool as shit. But I don't think they even had Splatterhouse. But my uncle Frank, he bought Splatterhouse 2, and Splatterhouse 2 was on Sega Genesis. And it is just like part 1. It's it's basically a platformer. It's not a beat 'em up, in my opinion. A beat 'em up is a different style. The third game is more of a beat 'em up than part 2, but Part two is like fucking creepy. I think it's gorier. There's no like blood in it. It's still like greens and stuff like that, but you have the white mask. You don't have a red mask because when they brought it to the United States, the TurboGrafx 16, you're wearing a red mask so that there's no copyright infringement for Friday the 13th. Because I mean, I don't think they even needed to do that, but they did, so it's whatever. But
Yeah,
and I might
it's a
have
hockey mask. I'm
I
like, how do
might
you trademark a hockey mask?
well, in the first game, like especially in the arcade game, it's definitely a fucking hockey mask. I mean, it shows the story when you see the title, like it shows the opening demo for the original arcade Splatterhouse. It shows it's a fucking hockey mask, but it's still like a possessed hockey mask. But they make it more organic looking in the later games. But whatever, it's a fucking hockey mask. But the second one, I'll never forget, like, because that game's pretty hard, and it's it's to me a creepier game. It's got a little bit creepier music. I need to play. I might play through that on stream maybe later tonight or sometime. I don't know
Nice.
if I'm gonna stream tonight, but beyond all that, no self promotion. Beyond all that, I was
Hey,
going
self
to.
promote all you want.
I well, I just I haven't played any Splatterhouse. Well, I've played a lot of Splatterhouse 1, but Splatterhouse 2 is the one I need to replay. But I'll never forget the fucking first boss. Like the first boss is this big fucking, and it makes just making these weird, creepy fucking sounds. I remember my fucking skin crawling. I was younger when I was playing this shit, and like it's like spitting, just like hucking shit at you, and there's like mutilated corpses
Jesus.
everywhere. I mean, everything is in pieces in this fucking game, Wes. Nothing's everything. It's just there's just fucking flesh thrown on the walls. And again, there's not much blood. It's mostly just like greens and browns and shit. But this first boss, it's like just chucking shit at, and you have to punch it in the stomach. And then after you finally kill it, if you don't back up, its stomach blows up and all its guts come out, and it'll do damage to you. It's like
God
God.
damn.
So, but that's probably my time.
I'm not too familiar with it. My cousin Gunner had a Sega Genesis, and he either had it or he rented it. And my child mind was blown with how
Yeah.
graphic that fucking game is. But
Okay.
I never really got into it because it's a hard game. Like
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's pretty difficult, and but I was always obsessed with it because of just how fucking far it went. You know, and Nintendo didn't really have much like that. It was pretty heavily censored. Even
Yeah.
like some of the horror games from Japan, kind of they censored it the hell out of it. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I had fond memories of kind of like, you know, playing it, and it's like, ooh, this game I shouldn't be playing,
Yeah.
like, and getting my ass kicked. So yeah, okay, this is going to be a little redundant, but my number 4 is Friday the 13th, the game, PlayStation 4,
Well,
because
that's
it's
going to
my
be
first.
my number 4 also, because for real, I had
Okay,
that.
okay, all right. Well, we'll kind of combine them then. So we'll take turns talking about it. But it's my first asymmetrical game, and it definitely nails the vibes of that movie series. I remember the first time I saw it, you might have been over. It was like my cousin Aaron brought it, and then he was playing as a camp counselor. And then when I saw Jason walk into the same cabin as him, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
fuck! I'm like marked out. Like I'm like, oh god damn, run! And I don't know. And then that sold me on it, and I bought the game. We both bought the game, and we had
Fuck.
a fucking blast with it. And the early days, it was pretty fucking gnarly because he would just teleport next to you and
Oh
like
my
come
god, it
at
was
you
so awesome.
it was like it was so thrilling. And it's just like some of the most fun I had like with the online game, just trying to. And I enjoyed playing the camp counselor more than Jason. Like Jason
Yeah.
is kind of frustrating sometimes, but as a camp counselor, you get that thrill of being hunted, like, and you feel like you're in the movie. And you know, it was a great game until, you know, people started to find exploits, and you had people like griefing and then like working together. Like they'd be in a group of counselors, and they'd be talking to Jason because they'd be in a PlayStation group or whatever. And then, or like the counselors like just running around the table and stuff, and it kind of ruined it. But at the early days of that game
Yeah.
was just the most fun I had. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't really get into other asymmetrical horror games after that. Like they have Dead by Daylight, they have Evil Dead. None of them. I even played Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and none of them reached the heights of Friday the 13th for me. It was like chaotic fun. It was so glitchy sometimes. I mentioned before I found that kind of charming. I don't think games should be unfinished, but I found it kind of charming in Friday the 13th. And I don't know. Then it really died after the rights issues came up, and
Yeah.
you kind of wish it had a little bit more of a life. I wanted to see Jason X. I wanted to see if they did Manhattan or something, some wild shit. Yeah, Friday the 13th on PlayStation 4, my number 4.
Yep. And I agree. So I definitely bought the game because I played it at your house. I don't remember if it was the time Aaron was there or if it was. I'm pretty sure I was there when he had brought it because it was free
Yeah.
on Play Game Pass or something, right? Or some shit. Or is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so.
And you was like, you
Yeah.
need to bring that shit over now. We need fun. And then yeah, two things about that game for me fucked it up. One was they did a bunch of balance patches that just took a lot of power away. They did that thing where, oh, the weak people are complaining too much. It's like, that's
Yeah.
the fucking point, dude. It's supposed to be very hard for everybody to fucking escape. It's like and then the second thing that fucked that game up for me was when they did whatever they did to the graphics to make everyone like glow and make their hair shiny and weird and shit. Before all that happened, that game's atmosphere was like fucking perfect. The
Yeah.
darkness was good. The lighting was good. You could, yeah, when you'd look, you'd see Jason out there fucking moving. You could hear him, but you couldn't really make him out. But like the moonlight would work kind of good. Like that moon effect was pretty nice.
Mhm.
But the absolute best thing to me about that game was literally just the attention to detail on Jason. If it was a Kane Hodder Jason, the motherfucker ran and moved like Kane Hodder. I mean, that run, that lumbering walk or whatever is like unmistakable. Where he's all, he's like
Mhm.
the fucking kind of hunch, like seeing that coming towards you is very creepy. And I loved fucking playing Jason because I didn't play Jason like a fucking moron. You play him like you're trying to fuck with people. You're trying to you chase this guy and make him think you're coming for him and then duck back after another guy. I got good with him. I got really good with him. But then
Yeah.
they did a couple of balance patches. Yeah, because you watch me waste like fucking 7 or 8 counselors pretty regularly most of the time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
where they're gonna go or what they're gonna do. So you just patrol those areas, and then if you see somebody fucking up, then you just run away, go to the you don't have to, you have to know when to choose your battles and stuff. But yeah, and then playing literally as the NES Jason skin where the creepy music, it wasn't the same music, but it had like a chip tune effect to it. So like when because when Jason would get close to you, it would play music, you'd hear the
Yeah.
music. But and then yeah, then one thing I liked was when they added that single player mode, because that was when Wheels glitched out and he fucking was standing up and shit. We was dying, laughing our asses off.
Fucking God.
He rolled down the stairs.
What in the fuck? God damn, he's fast. He's faster than regular Bugsy. God.
Throw a knife at him.
I
He
did.
fucking crashed. He crashed.
God damn.
Yeah, cut his legs off. That was that
Yeah,
single player.
yeah.
And that single player mode was pretty fun too, because it was like you could play the game offline and you had some mission based shit. There's 2 guys working on a car out in the woods and you have to find ways to kill. You don't have to just go up and stab them. You can literally make like a tree branch fall on one guy, or I can't remember all the scenarios. It's been a long fucking time, but yeah, and that's literally the first and only asymmetrical game I've ever played that I like. I mean, I guess the Predator one was considered one of those, but I fucking just really didn't
Yeah.
like that game. And then Dead by Daylight nobody plays that game to get scared. Everybody just plays that game to fucking, to me, it seems like to just yell and hate people. Like, because
Yeah.
I've watched several people, including people I know, play that game. They don't ever look like they're having a good time, and they almost always seem like they're having to play the game for some reason. So fuck that, because it's like,
Mm.
if you don't, oh, you're a survivor, you have to play. It's games where the meta's already figured out, so you have to fucking do everything the right way, or you're not. But well, then how come I can do this? And you know what I mean? So once you the meta's figured out and the community is like, if you're playing this game wrong, then okay. So it's like, that's like if on Monopoly, it's like, well, you didn't roll a 6, or you didn't roll fucking a 6 and a 5, so you suck at Monopoly. I don't know. I just, but and then the Halloween game looks interesting though, because it legit looks
Mhm.
like a 1-for-1 remake of this. Like, it looks like
It's
they're
from the
just,
same team that made
yeah,
Friday the 13th.
yeah,
Ilphonic
Ilphonic.
made Texas. Yeah, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it wasn't the same team as Friday the 13th, apparently. So the Friday the 13th team is working on the Halloween
Yeah.
game. So I'm kind of interested in it.
Well, bro, just that
But we'll
trailer, it
see.
just looked and acted a lot like, I mean, the only vibe I got was Friday the 13th was
Hmm.
from that.
And my number 3 is Left 4 Dead 2.
God damn it.
One of my I was so obsessed with this game. Great online multiplayer game. I played the fuck out of it. Like, just shooting through hordes of zombies, just like the feeling of just feeling overwhelmed by hordes of zombies. You had the special infected, and some were fucking scary. Like the hunter would just and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
jump on you, or like the witch who's like crying in the corner and you don't
yeah,
want to startle her, and then when someone does, she like fucking goes rah, and then you got
yeah,
the lighting and shit, like the red shit, and then she just automatically downs you, and you just got to unload on her to save your buddies or whatever. So it's got pretty good jump scares, even like the multiplayer when you play it as special effect. It had like great strategic gameplay. Like, you really had to work as a team on that game.
yeah.
um but like the lighting, the chaos, the music
The
cues when
music
they
was
would have
fucking
certain
great. Yeah,
yeah, like the tank, you would hear the tank thing. It was like da da, and you
yeah,
could see the rumbling, the ground shaking and stuff. Even like the posters that they show for each stage, it's kind of like that B movie horror vibe to
yeah,
it that games like rarely capture. But um, oh, yeah, it's just it also like the AI director, it's like it's different every time you play a stage. Like the hordes
yeah.
don't come at a certain time. The modding communities were awesome with this when I eventually got it on PC. Like, you had a
Hmm.
whole damn scenario that someone created. And I had like a lot of great memories with the co-op, like even like couch co-op shit doing that. And I mean, it's you could see if it's I think it does a really good balance of both action horror and horror, because there's some legit scary parts to it, but it's also very action packed. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's one of my favorite games of all time, and my number 3 favorite horror video game.
Well, mine was literally, excuse me, Left 4 Dead, the first one, but
Okay.
I had that tied with Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies, because I'd never
All right.
zombies existed in Call of Duty before the Black Ops, but Black Ops was like the one and only Call of Duty game I ever played. That shit was fucking tense. I fucking
Yeah.
love that mode, but you was always on edge. And even if you were good at that game and you got I mean, you're literally just running around a loop with 350 fucking zombies behind you, and all it takes is just fucking up one or whatever, and like, and then you have limited ammo and you have limited resources and all this stuff, and you're just playing until you die. You're gonna die. Well, no, I think there was scenarios where you could win, but like most of the time you just fucking died. And then yeah, everything you said about Left 4 Dead, I didn't own, I think, the second one, but I haven't played it very much, because games where it takes a lot of skill and shit like that and you have to work as a team, people don't want to do that shit anymore. So it's like, I don't even want to
Yeah,
try
yeah.
if I'm not gonna if it's not with the homies, I don't think it's gonna be worth playing. But that game is tense too, because it's like when you fuck up there and you've got 300 zombies beating the fuck out of you in this plane. Because that's the other thing too. Like when you're getting mobbed, it like that music amps the fuck up because it's like they're trying to
Yeah.
tell you you're dying. This is you dying right now. This is what it sounds like when you die. This and it, bap 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 bap. Like it's so that's pretty
Yeah, and
intense
it's
too.
turning red
Yeah,
and
it's like turning
yeah.
fucking red, and then you know you have the limited resources, and then yeah, the other thing too, the fucking what's that bitch, the liquor or whatever that hits you with the, I can't remember the names of all the special zombies and shit, but
I think the liquor is right.
yeah, the liquor, or yeah, the tank, the witch or whatever she was, and then there was one other one. Was it like a spitting zombie or something?
Yeah, I think that was part 2, the
Oh, was it?
spitter.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I like Left 4 Dead 2 because I think it just does everything just better than Left 4 Dead 1.
Yeah.
But I never really played zombies on Call of Duty, but always Ashton, my oldest son, he was obsessed. Yeah, that was his favorite part of Call of Duty was zombies.
Hmm.
And I never really got into it, but just what like it seemed like it got really convoluted the further it went because like, well, you got to do this and turn on the
Yeah, it
sparkler and
was.
then they go over here
Yes.
and then, but I remember even watching you play it. I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty intense. Like you're like boarding up the fucking things. You got to like
Yeah.
get
Well,
money to get better weapons or
the one map I
randomized
liked was
weapons.
one of the most simplest ones, and it was, if I remember right, if you bought the special edition of Call of Duty Black Ops, which I didn't buy, but somebody gave me their little codes, they would give you the zombie maps from the original Call of Duty, or not Black Ops, from whichever the first Call of Duty with zombies in it was, World at War II or World. I can't read. I don't know them. There's 3 million fucking Call of Duty games. I played Black
Yeah.
Ops, but you would get access to, and I think one of those, it was called Kino der Toten. It was German because you're in a theater. It is very simple. There's not there. What I think there was maybe a couple hidden things you could do in it, but not anything really crazy. Where it's like, yeah, because I know what you're talking about. Like you can, if you do certain things at certain times and crazy shit, you can unlock a fucking whole different area and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I just liked playing this one and seeing how far you could get because yeah, you're literally just board shit up, try to get enough money to open the hope there's a fire sale so you can open the random box, hope that you get the good thing in the random box. Then you'd have to go and cook your weapon in the weapon cooker thing or whatever to make it better. But then it was like once you got there, then it was all about now you have to serve because you can't get any better weapons and you can't hold
Yeah.
any more ammo. And but the zombies are forever, so that's where the tenseness would come for me. But yeah, I loved it. And again, I had more experience with it than Left 4 Dead. I liked it more so, but I literally have them wrote down as COD, Black Ops Zombies, Left 4 Dead tie.
Damn. What Call of Duty zombies did you play the most? Like, what Call of Duty game was it?
It was literally just Black Ops. Call of Duty Black Ops was
Black
the
Ops.
only Call of Duty game I ever bought and the only one I ever played.
That's wild. That's just like,
I
yep.
just didn't give a
I've had
shit.
enough. All right. So moving on to my number 2, and I don't think we're gonna match on this one. I don't think we're gonna match on the next 2. Okay.
Okay, no, that's fine.
But my number 2 is Dead Space, the first one. I know the second one's probably the better game. But goddamn, that game just put me on the edge of my seat. Like it just mixes Event Horizon with the thing with zombie movies, and the creatures in it are fucking horrifying looking. And it's like you don't shoot them in the head, you got to shoot them in the fucking limbs, and
Mhm.
then they start crawling towards you, and you're like panicking, like trying to shoot all their limbs. I'm like, it's not just simple as a headshot. And they had some really great jump scares in it too. Like just it also combines Alien because you're like in these like metal corridors and you're thinking
Mhm.
something's going to jump at you. It doesn't, but then something does jump at you when you least expect it. It was like pretty awesome how they did that. The thing that stands out for me for this game rather than like the second one, and the second one is probably a better game, but it's the ending. The ending, I remember beating it like late at night, and it's got one of those ominous endings, and it just doesn't feel right. It just made me feel fucking weird, and then it had like a jump scare that just freaked me the fuck out. I was like, God damn, how am I going to
Mhm.
sleep tonight? Like, it had to do with his wife. He's looking for his wife. And yeah, it's just fucking creepy the way it ended. And it's just like this sadness, despair, and just like
Well,
that jump scare at the
I
very
know
end
two
really got to
factoids
me.
about this game. One is that they were like literally looking at graphic pictures of victims and stuff to get the viscera and shit right for this game. And the other one is the first letter of every name of every chapter literally gives away the ending of the game. Whatever the girl's name is, her name is dead.
Yeah, yeah. And you see her, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, it's just so sad and everything. And there's a few other things. Like, they had a really unique kind of HUD system with the game, and the sound design, like just the silence and the mechanical noises. You hear shit in the back speaker, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? And I was playing like the remake. I think it's a remake of the first or second one, and it was fucking scary, and I stopped playing it. I'll get back on it, but I just went on. I went on. I played a little bit, and then I played Silent Hill 2.
It was
But
scary, and
I was like, it was fuck because I had my headphones on, and it was the volume was up. I'm like, fuck this. It's like I'm
not laughing. Like,
I'm playing on
I'm
on an
I
OLED
think you're a
TV.
pussy. I'm just laughing because
Yeah,
like,
no.
I got scared. I stopped playing it. Like the fucking
I'm playing
message
on an
achieved.
OLED TV.
Oh my
I'm
god!
playing on an OLED TV. It's got the deep blacks, and you see something like crawling to you with this fucking like stumpy things. I'm like, fuck this game.
Could you imagine if like Sheba jumped on your back or something right with some shit? See, I don't have anything that terrifying on my list.
But yeah, it's got the body horror, even the psychological aspects to it. Your guy's going kind of crazy, and he's, Isaac, the main character, he's on a mental decline, being exposed to all this. And I mean, it's really inspired by Resident Evil. It's Resident Evil 4's gameplay, but it's more of a horror game than Resident Evil 4. But yeah, that Dead Space, my experience with the first one really stuck with me. And also, they had like a companion animated movie with this, and that's actually pretty good and pretty disturbing as well. So it's worth checking out.
Nice. I don't have any. I've never played any Dead Spaces. I just know a little bit about them. I know they're supposed to be. Those came out on Xbox, right? First, or were they PlayStation games? Weren't those Xbox games?
I'm not sure. It
Or
might
were
have
they
been
dual
both
releases?
because it was EA made it. So
okay, probably yeah. See, I can't. I for some reason I always remember seeing them in green cases. I don't know why.
I think they kind of shit the bed with the third one because I had like a bunch of microtransactions. I never even played the third one, but I played the first two. But that, like I said, the Dead Space 2 is probably the better game, but Dead Space 1 is the one that kind of stuck
Well,
with
the
me.
first one came out in what, like 2006 or 7? It's been a long time ago since it came out, right?
Yeah.
But even then, it was like I remember it being really like critically acclaimed for like its atmosphere and the graphics. Like the graphics were like really because that's when they was, you know, the bump mapping and all that shit was kind of being in vogue, and the shading, the light shade, you know, like you said, the lighting being they did the lighting right and kept it claustrophobic, but still, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never played one of these games, but
it was original IP too at the time, like EA making an original game, like
yeah, no shit.
So it was like
still
lightning
did.
in a bottle, and then they've kind of still fucked it up with the third one, but
well, yeah, of course. But we all knew that would come to bear. Let's see. What are we on? My number 2. Well, my number 2 is going to be probably Doom, the original PC Doom. Because I remember playing that. It was me and you and Jamil in his basement. We had all the fucking lights off, being creeped the fuck out. Like, because the 32X version, you couldn't really hear the music that well. I think you could turn it off if you want to. I think we turned it off. But like, I remember one time Jamil opened the door, like the door, and there was one of those fucking imps right behind it going, he fucking dropped the controller. And then I think you picked it up real quick and like shot him. But like, And then the further you get, like when the pink demon fuckers that run after you and shit, like just some of that shit looking right at you in the face is fucking crazy. Like you have the cacodemons and then the like the hit, some of that shit was like hissing at you. But I actually remember playing that game a lot and being fucking not. I don't want to say I was scared. It's more like nervous excitement, I guess. But they kind of
Yeah.
correlate, right? Because it's like, what the fuck's trying to get me now? You know what I mean? The first time, like you
Yeah.
see the skeletons with like this is Doom 2, but like the skeletons with the dual rocket launchers that just like run up and are just punching you and shit, and then like the spider droid things and shit. A lot of that stuff was just really scary, and that was kind of the same. And that's a shooter game, you know. Well, Dead Space was too, but like it's like weird medieval mixed with metal corridors and just space stations and I don't know what the fuck. Like they took a lot
Well,
of
they had
different
like people all torn up and shit, like
yeah
hanging from the ceilings and shit.
upside
It's
down
like,
crosses and shit and but you're on Mars, but you're also a Marine. You're a Marine on Mars dealing with demons from hell. Like, where in the fuck? Like, I didn't sign up for this shit. But, and then, because again, most of my picks, I was trying to think of games that, like, legit, scared me. You know, Castlevania will be an honorable mention, but not because it scares me, just because it's like one of my favorite franchises. But is it my favorite horror game? No, because they're not scary, really that scary of a game to me. Doom was pretty fucking scary though for me. And then when you play like what is it? Doom 3, it was kind of nuts too. Did you ever play Doom 3? Like
is
Doom
that the one
3,
with the updated graphics with kind of like when it did it come out on Xbox 360 and
yeah,
it
it
had like
did.
the
Yep.
updated graphics? Yeah, it was more like horror, right?
It really
Like,
was. It was more horror because you had like literally one of your weapons is a flashlight.
yeah,
You-
yeah.
you-
I
and
play a little bit of it, yeah.
and that game looked awesome and it was creepy as fuck too. But it was a lot of fun. But it's still that my pick is still would be Doom for that. And then of course I mentioned you in it. You bought Doom. That was my first experience with it because I didn't know. I don't think anybody had a PC at that point when
No.
32X was
Okay.
big.
I have like a funny sort of story with that. Like I was in Louisville, this really small town, and we it's like we had a new like preacher at the church or something, and that's when I was like forced to go to church and stuff. And me and my cousin Gunner went over there and he's like, "Hey, I got games on the PC over here," and we were playing fucking Doom in church.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
We just play a little bit of it, but then later on, I got it for 32X. I know the 32X version is like one of the worst versions of it, but I loved
Nobody
it.
knew
Like it
that
made
then
me,
though. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then I loved it, and I was getting kind of nervous playing it on there, and yeah, because we didn't have like scary video games, and we were pretty young too. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I Doom is definitely on my honorable mentions.
Yep. Yeah, that's my number 2 pick for me. So now we're back. Are we doing honorable mentions now, or you want to do number 1?
Yeah, I'll do some honorable mentions. Alan Wake 2, I really like it. I still haven't finished it. Let's see here. BioShock, another great game. Call of Cthulhu, I played it. I was liking it, and then I got to this one part where this monster kept popping out of paintings and killing me, and I got fucking pissed off with it and stopped playing it. But it was good until that. Then Chiller. I mean, we talked about Chiller before.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I told you I played that in Florida when I was visiting my dad, and it was like on a fucking boardwalk on a beach, and Chiller was right there, and I was playing
Yeah.
Chiller in this sunny beach in Florida. D is one. Like, Hellraiser Revival looks really good. I'm glad it's not like a fucking asymmetrical game.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it's good because I'd like for it to be good so I can like enjoy it and buy it and
Yeah.
support it. Last of Us, I love Last of Us. It's like hell, it's like one of my favorite gaming experiences, period. Even part 2. I just get like I'm more like emotionally invested in it rather than scared by it, but it does have some like really scary parts. Little Nightmares, I played through it. I beat that. It's pretty like uneasy feeling game. I watched my cousin play some Parasite Eve. I never really played it, but it kind of weird seeing people
It's not
turn
that
into
game
like a
wasn't
fucking
really that.
liquid.
Yeah, that game wasn't really that scary to me.
It's like Resident Evil meets Final Fantasy. It's kind of like role playing, turn based battling in it, right?
Yeah. One honorable mention I'd throw in would be that Night Slashers, that beat 'em up arcade game.
Oh yeah.
I've played that on stream before, but like that game, if you play the Japanese version of that game is bloody as fuck. And it's they got these like zombies in there. They almost remind me of like Tarman. They're kind of like a normal enemy in that game, but like if you beat them in certain ways, they'll like blow up in certain ways. It makes this I mean, the noises in that game are awesome. Like, and it's not really a scary game. It's just, but
It's horror though. I mean,
it's very it's horror themed. You're just fighting zombies and like crazy doctors and fucking. I think you fight, of course, an evil clown at some point, I think. And
I just played Silent Hill 2 remake. It's really good, very psychological. I didn't play it the first one. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I really love that game. I rented it and played the fuck out of it. I didn't play the sequel though.
God, a buddy of mine, shout out Retro Kenji, he fucking just beat that game. It's like a fucking million levels, that stupid game. It's like insane.
I don't know if it was D or Tecmo's Deception that I was thinking about the traps.
Deception's the trapped one. Deception's the trap.
Okay, I played D too.
D, you're playing as a blonde woman. I think you're just walking around a house or some shit. I think. Okay. It's like, I think it's mostly like FMV too, if I remember right. I'm not 100% on that one.
The Walking Dead Satan Center is really good VR game. World War Z was a good game too. I just didn't really get into it. It didn't reach that Left 4 Dead height for me. But that's pretty much it for my honorable mentions. If you have any more,
I really don't. Like,
okay,
those were all like I forgot half those games even exist. It's like, oh, those would have been better picks. But remember,
I made a whole list, and
I haven't played. I don't play horror games that much. Like, so I don't.
Yeah,
that's why my list is like, I don't know how much horror this is, but
it is horror. I mean,
yeah.
All right, so I'll go with my number one. My number one is Resident Evil for PlayStation 1. It's not the remake.
Yeah,
it's
the original.
And I know Resident Evil 2 is a better game. The Resident Evil remakes are better. I played the Resident Evil 1 remake on GameCube where the zombies come back to life and you burn them and stuff. Great game. Better than this one. But this is one of my core gaming memories.
Yeah.
I have a specific memory of going to KB Toys with my cousin Gunner and buying this game because I was anticipating it. I'm like, Resident Evil looks fucking sick. And this game, it got us going with that iconic dog going through the fucking window. The first jump scare in a video game that really got me. I remember it because it was just like one of my favorite gaming nights of playing through the first part of that game with him. And it was like the first time I felt like I was dropped in the middle of a horror movie. Yeah, that one night, it just, popped that game in with my cousin to just experience one of my favorite gaming moments of all time. And the thing is like, you had the tank controls. I think that adds to like the despair of the game.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like you enter another part of the screen. Oh, shit, the controls are all different, and there's a zombie coming after me, and I gotta go.
Now you gotta slowly back up this way and walk forward.
And then
that's
you can't
the fucking
carry
funniest
with
shit,
you.
dude. You could, when you would walk, you have to walk backwards, and then you just you're like,
the terrible dialogue, of course. The master of unlocking line. The one part where he's like, and that's always fucked with me because I don't know if everyone else hears it, but when Barry says, "You were almost a Jill sandwich," I always hear him say, "You were almost a Jibble sandwich." I'm like, what?
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right.
I didn't know what the fuck he was saying. I'm like, what's a Jibble sandwich?
You know why? Because sometimes I think you might have had something in your disc where it would hiccup right there. So it, it could, because my dad tells me things like this, like, man, I hate when I hear a song on the radio and it doesn't skip in a certain part, because every time I'd listen to my record, it would skip there. So now I'm not saying that's it might have been just an encoding error. It might actually sound like that, but I know what you're talking about, because it sounds like it's skipping right there when it's a Jibble sandwich. Yeah, that sounds exactly like just like when I'd be playing Symphony of the Night and stuff, sometimes the disc would skip or whatever, and it would fuck a line of dialogue up. So, yeah.
Wow. Man. But yeah, maybe it was just because I feel like I was going crazy. I'm like, what is a Jibble sandwich? I didn't know it was a Jill sandwich until much later. I mean, this basically invented survival horror. I mean, the only game like it before it was Alone in the Dark, but well, this was supposed to be an adaptation to that. Was it supposed to be an adaptation to that fucking
Sweet
Home or something movie? So, and then they had the rights to it, so you just made Resident Evil. Yeah, and then like the GameCube remake, I really liked it. I played and beat it. But yeah, just bringing that game home from KB Toys and just one of my favorite overall gaming memories. But that's why it got the #1 spot, even though there are better Resident Evil games technically.
Yeah, well, mine's not far off from that. My Resident Evil 1 story, I mostly played it like with you because I didn't have PlayStation at the time. By the time I did, hell, the third one was out by that point. And I remember my memories with that is the dog, the first zombie you meet. I think I was at, I think you had brought it again to Jamil's house. We was in the basement. We were all having a sleepover and playing through that. We were all just taking turns and shit or whatever. And then I remember my other core memory of that is I think you had let Jamil borrow it, and he was at the end of the game when Tyrant comes out. And he like fucking me and Jamil are down there playing. He's playing. I'm just watching, and it's this part. Okay, so it's where like Wesker is like explaining the whole plot to whoever you're playing as or whatever. I think he was playing as Jill at this point. And he's like, this is the Tyrant Project. It's my greatest blah, 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 and all the pageantry and all the bullshit. Well, then his mom starts coming down the stairs to collect him for some reason or whatever, right? Now, here's exactly what happens. She's walking down the stairs. Wesker turns and he goes, go to hell.
Go to hell.
Because he says that. He says, go to hell. This is what his mom's walking down. You remember his mom. She was pretty strict. Yeah. Rest in peace. She comes down the stairs. Now, what's the next thing that happens? Tyrant. Now she's standing at the base of the stairs. Jamil knows she's there, and she's just watching. Jamil can't do anything, and I figured he would probably just shut the machine off or whatever, but he didn't. I think he kind of just wanted her to see it in some weird way. Because you know how he would do that nervous laugh all the time? Yeah. Like he would like, like when he knew he was doing something wrong, but he was just, it's something specific I remember about him, but it was very endearing. But anyways, so then Tyrant breaks out of the tube and fucking eviscerates. And all the blood's coming out and shit. She's just shaking her fucking head. He's laughing. She just goes back up the stairs, and then he beats the game. Like then you have to shoot him, and then you're on top of the roof or whatever, waiting for the helicopter, and then they drop the. But yeah, that was my memory of that game. But I didn't play that much. I've played some of the remake. It's a lot of fun. I have to get used to tank controls, though, because I didn't really come up with that kind of shit. I know how to drive a tank, but not as a person. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's going to take a learning curve. But my favorite game was Resident Evil 3, Nemesis, because that's the most scared I've ever been in a game. That was why that was my #1. It was going to be Resident Evil 1. That's what I was but I was like, I didn't play Resident Evil 1. I've played Resident Evil 3. I've played all the way through it. And the thing with Resident Evil 3 that's scary is you have the goddamn Nemesis monster chasing you whenever the fuck he wants to. You never know when he was coming. There was no warning. He would just show up. And every the fuck time he would show up, he'd have, maybe a rocket launcher or a minigun or a flamethrower. He always had like different weapons, and he would chase the shit out of you and just try to get you. And throughout, you can do enough damage to him to knock him out and stuff like that. But again, it's a Resident Evil game where you're like trying to conserve all your ammo and not do that. So you're basically just constantly running from this motherfucker. But also, like, remember how much you have to backtrack in Resident Evil games and shit. So it's like, sometimes you can't be scared to fight him sometimes, because you might need to get from here to there, and he might get you then if you don't. But if I remember right, whenever after you'd knock him down, it would take a while for him to come back. But and then like halfway through the game, like you're constantly doing damage to him, and he's like losing parts of him and shit, and he gets like more mutated and stuff. And then by the end, he's like a big fucking half eyeball fucking weird dude, and then you have to set him on fire and shit. But that game scared the fuck out of me, because that was another thing. Like I was always constantly on edge. Like when's Nemesis coming? Stars. He'd always say stars.
That's awesome.
And fucking. But it wasn't, again, it was a PlayStation 3 game. And that played with tank controls too, but that's like one of the only games I remember, because I played that a lot with my brother. He had that. And I didn't play much Resident Evil 2, but from what I understand, Resident Evil 2 was pretty scary like that too, because I had like the Mr. X's or whatever that would kind of come out. Because I guess that's what Nemesis was modeled after or whatever, was the fucking, those kind of guys or whatever. And then they really made those guys crazy in the remake. Like I want to play the Resident Evil 2 remake, because I like the PC one, because that shit looks like it's just gonna make my fucking skin crawl just fucking playing it. So, but maybe I'll do that sometime. But yeah, that's my number one.
Yeah, that's a weird thing with me. It's like I like a certain game, and then I'll play the original, I'll play the second one, and then I'll just like kind of forget about it by the third game comes out. And that's what I did with Resident Evil. I played the first one, I played the second one, the third one came out, I'm like, Gunner got it, and then I watched him play it, and then, it looked fucking freaky with that dude just like popping out of everywhere. But I kind of want to experience it, and I do have the Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 3 remake, so maybe I'll finally get around to it. But
yeah, I've got those as
that's
well.
one I just kind of skipped, and then I came back around with Resident Evil 4, where they just kind of changed everything with it. I mean, but between, I didn't get Code Veronica either. That was the fourth one. I think it was on Dreamcast.
Yeah.
But looking forward to Hellraiser, the new Hellraiser game. Hopefully it's good, and hopefully Halloween is good and we can play it too. So I'd love to have those Friday the 13th experiences again.
Oh my God, I know, me too.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right.